Hey, what's up, man, and welcome back, everybody. Most definitely, we're going to be talking about locks and adding them to your doors, garage, shed, wherever you want to put a lock. But most definitely, everybody has doors, and most definitely, everybody uses keys. Most definitely, when you use keys, you end up losing them, or you forget it, or stuff like that. Well, the world is turning these days, so most definitely everybody's turning with it. So most definitely, we got some new locking system. And most definitely, some people have some issues on YouTube with the battery terminal. Most definitely, I'm going to give you a quick tip on this one. Most definitely, if you got some needle nose pliers or maybe some little wire pliers or something, you can kind of tighten them up. You know what I mean? The terminals of the battery. Because after a while, it'll get looser and looser and it'll just pop out. Usually, the female end will pop off from the battery terminal. And then when you try to push the buttons, then it won't work. Then you open it all up, the casing inside the door, and then you do. I mean, the guys really gave me 2 thumbs up on this one. You most definitely use some needle nose pliers and tighten it up, and it'd be nice and tight. And then every time you push the buttons, it will work again. All right, and again and again and again. And then it gets loosened again. You just tighten it up. You know what I mean? Not so tight that you break the terminals, but just a little snug. And after that, it'll fit nice and strong. All right, so what we're going to do is be programming in some new code since we got 3 new locks from Menards. We do a lot of shopping at Menards. I spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars at Menards, and most definitely I am a value customer. Most definitely because of all the stuff that I have to buy. You know what I mean? I be doing everything. Home remodeling, you know, everything. We have built a spare bedroom, all that kind of stuff like that. Alarm systems, and most definitely keyless digital locks. So what we're going to do is we're going to program in some new codes, and most definitely if you got the user manual, you can jump right into it. But if you don't be in the programs of the lock, sometimes you're going to kind of forget how to add a code or forget a code, stuff like that. That's why we always have a little practice one here to practice on, you know what I mean, so you don't forget things. And if you don't have an extra one laying around the house, then most definitely you use the ones that you got on your door. And every so often, maybe like once a week, you'll go over the programming and programming codes and stuff like that, just to familiar your brain with the programming codes and stuff like that. So I said I wanted to shoot that on the video, and we got this one wired up too. Got it all wired up, and you can push the code. And we're gonna do. Let's see. I take this one. So that code is wrong, so it'll show a little red light. Now, if you push in your program code, then you will get a solid light. You know, solid orange light that'll be down here. Okay. So a lot of people forget their programming code, and can you reset the programming code? A lot of people have really been looking in that manual to see if they can reset that programming code. Reset, just in case if you forgot it. If you forgot it, then you can't get back in. Now, if you can't get back in, I've searched myself to reset. There's no reset switches on the lock mechanism, that type of thing like that. But maybe if you sent it back to the company, most definitely they can reset it if you don't have that programming code. Well, most definitely with the programming code, you always want to write it down in the book, or maybe put it in a safe place, in a safe or something like that, so you don't lose it. Now, if you got more keypad locks, you kind of want to have them all use the same programming code, or you can change them. But if you forget one, then you won't be able to get in, and that can be very frustrating. I understand that. I know that. I know how it is. Most definitely with the battery terminal, that always happens a lot. Same thing with smoke detectors. Well, the old smoke detectors that used to use the battery terminal. See, I'm a technician. I know all these things. You know what I mean? We had all those kind of problems. We had to do the same type of fixing to the terminals to make that 9-volt battery connected with the top terminal pad. You know what I mean? So other than that, then you always have power. With power, you can always keep programming. And I like that little light there. You know what I mean? LED. So most definitely, if it's dark outside, you can push that button and light your numbers up so you can see them. And most definitely, they have the other keyless lock that automatically locks the door, but you have to really make sure that door closes correctly, because if you don't, then it don't lock right and it'd be stuck on the side, and then when somebody pulls your door, it will open right up. Okay, so you got to make sure that door is completely closed, because you can use your phone and lock the door, right? I had to work on several different houses that had that keyless remote control locking system, and their doors didn't close completely because of different issues, and we had to fix this or fix that or move it up a little bit and all that. You had to work with all that framing stuff to get that lock to lock right. If you have those automatic locks. Now, a lot of people said they came back home and it wasn't locked right. It was stuck on the side, and anybody can open the door. The lady was very upset about that. But most definitely, we had to work with the framing and all that kind of, and get it all fixed up, and then redo it and showed her. And she was very happy with it, and that's what happened. And she understood that, you know what I mean? So that's the good thing. You'll get some understanding out of this. But most definitely, this is a manual one. That's why it's push turn. You have to push the door, you know, however you got your door set up, your framing, and just turn it without automatic. All right. Now, these are a little bit cheaper. These are cheaper than your remote that you can do it on your phone or something like that. Most definitely, you will be right at that door when you turn that lock and see it goes right into the frame and locks. Deadbolt lock, double lock, you know what I mean? I've never been a locksmith. I always wanted to be a locksmith to make keys to door locks. You know what I mean? Because if you make a copy and then you give somebody a key and they lose that key, then that key's out there wandering around. I've seen a lot of wandered around keys laying around outside. If you look around at your apartments or houses, you know, your maintenance people, your landlords, all that, I mean, they be throwing away keys. And sometimes they throw on the same old locks. So you don't want to trust that. So most definitely you want to get your own locking system so you can trust your own code. All right. Well, that's about it. We're going to shoot one more quick one. We're going to talk about the quick programming, and make sure you write that programming code down so you don't lose it. If you do, we're going to double check that again. We're going and that's the thing. Once you put all this stuff in, you probably will never come back to that manual again. But most definitely, being a technician, we will pick up that manual maybe a couple times a week and remind yourself of all the things, all the functions and programs that you have to do with your keypad lock. All right? Well, that's about it. And we'll be back with some more products. Peace.